There are 5 specific appliance brands that repairmen are quietly telling their families to never buy. Do you know which trusted American name is now just a logo stamped on a stranger's machine? Do you know which premium European brand locks your dishwasher down with software until you pay them to unlock it? And do you know which brand sells refrigerators that bleed metal shavings into their own cooling lines? A repairman named Gary Myers has been fixing appliances in rural Ohio since 1986. For the first 20 years, he repaired machines. Today, he pronounces them dead. He told us that 70% of his service calls now end with the same sentence. It is not worth repairing. Gary is not alone. We spoke to technicians across 11 states and asked them one question. Which brands do you refuse to buy for your own family? Their answers were unanimous. But before we reveal their blacklist, you need to understand why these 5 brands all fail the same way. It is not a coincidence. Welcome to Built to Break. If you are new here, subscribe. We do not take sponsor money from the brands we investigate. We take testimony from the men who open these machines every single day. Here is what most consumers do not realize. 3 corporations control 90% of every washer, dryer, refrigerator, and dishwasher sold in the United States. Whirlpool owns Maytag, KitchenAid, Amana, Roper, and Admiral. Electrolux owns Frigidaire and the Kenmore manufacturing contracts. Samsung and LG have captured the premium segment by flooding showrooms with touchscreens. Every brand on this blacklist follows the exact same playbook. Seal the components that wear out, discontinue the parts after 5 years, and make the repair cost more than replacement. It is not bad luck, it is a business model. Number 1 on the blacklist, Samsung. Every technician we spoke to put Samsung at the top without hesitation, and they gave us 2 reasons. The first is the refrigerator ice maker. Samsung moved the ice maker from the freezer compartment up into the refrigerator section to create more shelf space. This violates basic thermodynamics. They are trying to freeze water inside a box designed to keep food at 38 degrees. They pump freezing air from the bottom up through thin plastic tubes into a poorly insulated compartment. The seals fail. Warm air leaks in. The ice maker turns into a solid block of frost that jams the fan motor and leaks water onto your floor. Samsung has faced a class action lawsuit over this exact defect, affecting millions of French door owners. But the ice maker is not even the worst part. Samsung washing machines use a spider arm assembly made from a die-cast aluminum alloy that corrodes when it contacts the alkaline chemicals in liquid detergent. The spider literally dissolves from the inside over 3 to 5 years. When it snaps, the steel drum drops like an anvil and destroys the outer tub. The repair costs more than the machine. Technicians call Samsung appliances disposable electronics, wearing a kitchen disguise. Number 2, LG. If Samsung is the flashy failure, LG is the silent killer. Their refrigerators use the linear compressor, a piston that moves back and forth instead of spinning in oil. When it fails, it sends metal shavings through the sealed cooling system like a blood clot moving through an artery. The refrigerator does not just stop cooling, it poisons its own circulatory system. LG settled a class action in 2023 covering 4.8 million units, but the compressor is only the first crime. The second is parts obsolescence. LG control boards are proprietary and not interchangeable between model years. If your board fails after LG stops manufacturing your specific revision, there is no aftermarket replacement. One technician in Texas told us he has a storage unit full of dead LG dishwashers and washing machines that are mechanically perfect, but electronically brain dead because a $150 chip is no longer produced. The machine works, the motor works, but without that specific circuit board, it is scrap metal. Number 3. Electrolux and every brand it hides behind. Most consumers do not realize Frigidaire is not an independent American company. It was acquired by the Swedish conglomerate Electrolux, which also controls the Kenmore manufacturing contracts. Technicians flag Electrolux for 2 crimes. First, the evaporator coils in their refrigerators are undersized to cut material costs. An undersized coil works harder, runs longer, builds frost faster, and burns out the defrost heater. When the defrost system fails, ice blocks airflow entirely. Your food rots while the compressor keeps running. The repair involves replacing the evaporator, the defrost heater, the thermostat, and often the main board. $600 to $800 on a $900 machine. Second, Electrolux dishwashers use a circulation pump seal that degrades within 4 years. When it leaks, water triggers the flood sensor, and the machine locks out. The pump costs $200 and requires a specialized diagnostic tool to reset. They do not want your local repairman fixing it. They want you inside their service network. Number 4. Whirlpool and every name it has swallowed. This is the entry that will shock most people because Whirlpool still carries the reputation of a reliable American manufacturer. The reality is that Whirlpool Corporation is the largest appliance conglomerate in the country, and every brand it owns is now built on the same platforms in the same factories with the same cost-reduced components. The Maytag name that used to mean something is now a Whirlpool with a different logo stamped on the front panel. The first crime is the plastic welded tub. Whirlpool molds the bearings directly into the plastic outer tub during manufacturing. This saves them $11 per unit. When the bearings wear out between year 5 and year 8, you cannot replace them. The entire tube assembly costs $400 plus $300 in labor. The second crime is deliberate parts discontinuation. Technicians told us that Whirlpool routinely stops producing control boards and pump assemblies for models that are only 6 to 7 years old. The machine is mechanically sound, but the one electronic component it needs is no longer available. Your mother's Maytag lasted 25 years because every part was available for decades. The Maytag you buy today will be orphaned by its own manufacturer before your next car payment is finished. Number 5. Bosch, specifically their dishwashers. This one surprised us. Bosch is marketed as the premium European alternative. Quiet, sleek, expensive. And the technicians cannot stand them. Bosch uses a heat pump drying system with a circulation pump whose seals degrade and leak water into the base pan. When water hits the flood sensor, a system Bosch calls AquaStop, the machine locks out completely. It will not run, it will not drain. It refuses to operate until a certified Bosch technician replaces the pump for $280 in parts and $200 in labor because Bosch requires proprietary software to reset the sensor. One technician in Michigan calls AquaStop the subscription lock because it forces you to pay Bosch every time the machine shuts itself down. A Bosch dishwasher costs $1,000 to $1,500. One pump failure and reset runs $480. That is a third of the machine's value gone in a single visit. On the second failure, the math is fatal. Quiet does not mean reliable. It means you will not hear it dying. So if the entire market is rigged, does that mean you give up? No. It means you stop shopping like a consumer and start thinking like the repairman. The technicians we spoke to converge on 3 strategies. First, for laundry, buy the Speed Queen TC5, commercial laundromat machine without the coin slot. Steel transmission, mechanical timer, no circuit board. It will outlast 3 Samsungs. Second, for the kitchen, buy the dumbest appliance on the floor, no touchscreen, no ice maker in the door, no Wi-Fi. A $500 top freezer GE with a rotary compressor will outlast a $3,000 LG French door every time. Third, and this is the one most people do not know about, buy commercial equipment through a restaurant supply store. A commercial dishwasher from Hobart runs a full sanitizing cycle in under 4 minutes. Not 4 hours, 4 minutes. They are loud, ugly, and require a direct water hookup. But they are built for restaurants running 200 cycles a day. A used Hobart costs $800 to $1,200, the same price as a new Bosch that will lock you out in year 3. Here's what the Blacklist reveals. The entire industry has converged on the same business model. Samsung does it with dissolving spider arms. LG does it with proprietary circuit boards. Electrolux does it with undersized coils. Whirlpool does it with plastic welded bearings. Bosch does it with software-locked flood sensors. Different methods, identical outcome. The machine dies on schedule and the repair costs more than replacement. The men who fix these machines every day are not fooled by the stainless steel and the touchscreens. They know what is inside, and they would never let their families buy it. If this investigation opened your eyes, watch this video next. And if you are new here, subscribe to Built to Break. Every video we make is another product they cannot hide behind the marketing anymore.